Have you ever walked into a room and felt that one person possessed that mysterious glow that captivates eyes and draws hearts? That's no accident. It's the art of charisma, the secret that makes you a magnet for trust and influence. Today, I'm here to reveal that personal magnetism isn't a heavenly gift bestowed only upon stars and leaders, but a skill you can acquire like any language or craft. Based on psychological research in books like The Charisma Myth and How to Win Friends and Influence People, I've discovered that social geniuses build their magic through 3 pillars of fire: mindful presence, human warmth, and the power of gravitas. Imagine with me, why does Steve Jobs cause an earthquake just by stepping onto a stage? And why do those around Oprah Winfrey feel like the most important people alive? The answer lies in a simple chemistry between mind, heart, and body. Share with me in the comments, what's the moment you felt most like a human magnet? We'll continue our journey to the next section where we'll dive into the first secret of this chemistry. The first pillar of charisma is mindful presence, that lost art in an age of distraction. As Olivia Fox Cabane states in her revolutionary book, when you look into your interlocutor's eyes as if they're the last person on earth, charismatic electricity is born. Have you noticed that great figures like Nelson Mandela would pause for a second before responding? This isn't hesitation, but a focusing energy that makes others feel their words are the center of the universe. Try this simple exercise now. In your next conversation, turn off your phone. Listen with your whole body, a slight lean forward, raised eyebrows, and observe how your interlocutor's reaction changes. Charismatic leaders know that silent body language accounts for 80% of impact, as revealed in the book Like Switch by former FBI agent Jack Schafer. Did you know that in his one-on-one meetings, Bill Gates looks directly into people's eyes as if he's delving into their soul? This isn't just a technique, but a philosophy of being. You are, now and only now. In the hallways of a major corporation, there was a young man named Alex. Alex didn't possess wealth or a high position, but he was distinct with his calm smile and warm voice. In his early days, he was shy, sitting in a corner with gleaming eyes, listening quietly. Yet everyone suddenly leaned into him as if he were a high-ranking general manager. All his colleagues wondered how an ordinary young man like him could earn such respect and trust from everyone, even the company management. During lunch breaks, Alex would sometimes sit with his colleagues. One day, a colleague expressed frustration about a difficult major project they were facing. Alex rose from his seat with a reassuring smile and sat next to him. He nodded, saying, "I completely understand your situation." Then he looked at him with warm eyes and said, "Don't you think we'll find a solution together? Every challenging task becomes simple when we look at it together. Let's rethink this project one small step at a time." Alex's words felt like a helping hand. In a few moments, the colleague's heart was reassured and his enthusiasm grew. It was as if the simple question Alex posed had filled him with determination. In the next section, how to turn human warmth into your secret weapon. Between presence and gravitas lies a captivating secret: human warmth. Have you noticed that the most attractive people, like the Dalai Lama, possess a smile that radiates security? This is what Vanessa Van Edwards calls in Captivate: warmth is your golden ticket to unlocking hearts. But beware, true warmth isn't acting. It's an inner confidence that the other person is worthy of respect. In his timeless book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie mentions that Roosevelt's success secret was his soft pronunciation of his guest's name, as if he was touching their essence. Try this today. Offer 3 sincere compliments, not about appearance or achievement, but about your creative way of thinking or your composure in crises. Watch how it sparks trust. And remember Robert Cialdini's warning in Influence, the Psychology of Persuasion. People smell fakery like wolves. In 2019, a Harvard study revealed that warm speakers stimulate the release of oxytocin, the trust hormone, in listeners' brains. Have you tried showing your warmth in a difficult situation? Write your experience in the comments. In another instance, when a colleague named Lily mentioned she was afraid of giving an important presentation to everyone, Alex didn't just offer comforting smiles. He sat next to her and listened intently to her concerns. Then he calmly said with a sincere smile, "I'm completely confident in your abilities. Try practicing in front of friends." He gestured encouragingly, "I'm with you and you won't make a mistake." In the end, he suggested a small plan for her to practice in front of her close colleagues. With every word from Alex and his reassuring glance, fear gradually dissipated in Lily's chest. She felt a newfound confidence that her performance on stage would be better this time. Alex didn't talk much, but he knew how to instill reassurance. Everyone noticed that when he listened to others intently, he would briefly rephrase their words, demonstrating his deep understanding of them. The words he spoke were simple, but they conveyed genuine compassion and wise compliments. People would start conversations with troubled faces and end them with smiles and hope. After just 1 month, Alex became a role model for his team. Managers noticed that his presence in any meeting instilled a spirit of cooperation and relieved tension. And now to the third pillar, the gravitas that builds legends. The third and most controversial pillar of charisma is gravitas. It has nothing to do with power or wealth, as Cabani explains, but rather an aura of competence and boundaries. Imagine Angelina Jolie in her discussions about refugees. A calm voice, a grounded stance, eyes that never flinch from the truth. This is gravitas, being the rock in storms. In the book The Power of Charisma, Mortensen emphasizes that gravitas is built through clear boundaries, your ability to say no with a smile. Emotional control, don't get angry, simmer instead. Power body language, shoulders back, deep breathing, calm gestures. Did you know that Jeff Bezos trains his employees on 2-second pauses before responding to objections? This isn't weakness, but the art of creating distance that increases your gravitas. Try it today. In a situation where you're asked to compromise a principle, choose silence for 3 seconds. Then say, "I appreciate your opinion, but I see things from a different perspective." Watch how your pressure turns into gravitas. Share with us, what's the challenge you faced in asserting your gravitas kindly? On the other hand, other stories show how this very strategy turns into a destructive weapon if misused. In another walk of life, there was a man named Kyle. He had piercing eyes and a charming smile. But he didn't use them to build sincere relationships. Instead, he wove a hidden web of manipulation around himself. He would listen to others as if interested, but he was gathering information to build his own schemes. One evening, Kyle sat with his loyal friend Sam. Sam had recently faced a major personal crisis and eagerly talked about his sorrows and worries. Kyle listened with exaggerated interest, mentally collecting every minute detail from voice tones and facial expressions. After Sam finished speaking, Kyle smiled deceptively and said, "I completely understand what you're going through, and I'll share a lesson I learned one day." With these falsely warm words, Kyle exploited his friend's pain, who had lost trust in others. He deceived Sam into believing he understood him. On another occasion, Kyle discovered an important secret about a colleague at work regarding her business ambitions and future plans. He waited for his chance like a professional, and in a joint meeting, he listened to her as if he were a childhood friend who understood everything. Then he calmed her with words of false reassurance and interest until she thought he was truly with her. In reality, Kyle was using that information to his advantage. He would leak some details of the plan to senior management and claim undeserved credit. When the deception was exposed, everyone's trust in him turned into fear and anger. Kyle suddenly appeared as a clever tyrant who betrayed the trust of those around him. It wasn't long before Kyle began to feel loneliness setting in. Whenever he employed this strategy for his own gain, he noticed that the bonds of trust around him would shake and shatter. He became an expert at reading souls, but there was no one left around him to read his heart. As he sat alone within the walls of his room one night, he remembered the joy people felt from his fake smile and the false friendship and security he used to offer others. He finally realized that this very psychological secret had turned his life into a prison of isolation and guilt. He understood that the price of this hidden weapon was greater than he had imagined. With every fleeting gain he achieved, Kyle felt a transient pleasure that quickly dissolved into his desolation. He fabricated stories of his illusory successes to justify his betrayal of others. But his heart grew harder and colder each time he deceived himself with a false sense of victory. One night, Kyle found himself wondering in a low voice, "Was I truly seeking power, or was I trying to escape my inner weakness?" It became clear to him that the strategy that gave him a fearsome presence carried a curse. Every false word eroded the sincerity of friendship, and every fake glance made people move away from him. Every trick he played on others came back to him like a poisoned sword, because he discovered that trust is built by honesty and broken by games. In the next section, how to integrate the 3 pillars into an unbeatable charisma. Charisma genius, as in the book Social Intelligence, is a dance between opposites: warmth that melts ice plus gravitas that prevents triviality. Imagine Martin Luther King exclaiming, "I have a dream!" A voice warm as the sea, yet a will as solid as rock. This balance triggers the halo effect in the audience's brains, where you're attributed genius qualities even for your flaws. Jack Schaefer states in Like Switch, charisma equals 53% warmth plus 47% gravitas. Try a practical equation today. 1. Start with warmth. Smile, person's name, unexpected compliment. 2. Listen with a presence that melts time. Don't interrupt, just nod. 3. Conclude with gravitas. Summarize your response in a sentence ending with a downward inflection. A 2023 Yale University study proved that those who combine warmth and gravitas increase their leadership opportunities 7-fold. Remember Che Guevara. His glasses and military gravitas created a legend from fascinating contradictions. In the next section, how to build authentic charisma that isn't faked. Did you know that the biggest enemy of charisma is desperate attempts to possess it? As Ibrahim El-Fiqi warns in Secrets of the Magnetic Personality, fake charisma is like cheap perfume. It attracts you for a second, then repels you forever. The secret here is authenticity, being you in your deepest state, not a copy of Tony Robbins. In a stunning University of California study, it was discovered that authentic individuals stimulate activity in the reward centers of others' brains. Look at Frank Sinatra. His broken voice wasn't perfect, but he created a legend because his vulnerability was a window to his soul. Try this plan. 1. Discover your unique charismatic card. Are you the motivator, the sage, or the inspirer? Use a test from the book Captivate. 2. Express your values, not their expectations. If you're honest, make your transparency your weapon. 3. Accept your flaws with a touch of humor, as Chris Hemsworth does when he mimics the audience's mockery of his Australian accent. Share with us, what's that imperfect quality about you that people love? We'll use it to build your authentic charisma. And now to the exercises that turn theory into charismatic muscles. Charisma is like a muscle. It grows with daily training. From the Charisma Myth, I've tested some amazing scientific exercises for you. Exercise 1. The Moment Mirror. Stand in front of a mirror for 3 minutes daily, focusing only on your breath. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. This builds unburdensome presence. Exercise 2. The Volcanic Compliment. Compliment one person daily with an uncommon description. I appreciated your emotional intelligence in that situation. Exercise 3. Superman Body Language. Before any challenge, for 5 minutes, adopt a power pose. Hands on hips, head held high, to release testosterone and reduce cortisol, as proven by Amy Cuddy's research. Did you know that Oprah Winfrey used to practice warm eye contact with strangers on the subway? The results, a study at MIT found that 7 minutes daily of these exercises doubles attractiveness in 30 days. Try one now. Tell me in the comments, which exercise will you start with today? In the 8th section, how to use your charisma to turn around difficult situations. Now, let's bring theories down to earth. Imagine these scenarios. In a job interview, instead of listing your boring achievements, ask, "What's the biggest challenge your team is facing right now?" Then connect one of your experiences to that, as Robert Cialdini advises. This creates solution charisma. In a job interview, when the hiring manager asks you about your ambitions, you might notice their confidence in you increases when you answer with a calm, confident tone. Make sure to appear relaxed and look them directly in the eyes while speaking. Try to connect your answers by mentioning concrete examples and common ground, such as previous experience or shared values, so they feel you're on the same page. This will automatically make the manager see you as a balanced and attractive person. Giving them your full attention will also create a sense of mutual respect. In a marital crisis, apply the 30-second warmth technique from the book The Power of Charisma. Get down to your partner's eye level, touch their hand and say, "I'm here, tell me." In romantic relationships, when you talk with your partner or loved one, make sure to give them your full, undivided attention. Lean slightly towards them while speaking and offer warm, supportive gestures, like a light touch on the hand or an encouraging gaze. Show interest in what they say with phrases like, "I completely understand how you feel, and that's truly amazing," and smile sincerely. This way, they will feel safe to reveal their innermost thoughts to you. If they're telling you about their difficult day, respond with compassion. "I'm here with you, and I believe in your ability to overcome challenges." You'll notice they open their heart to you more easily and reciprocate the same support. In persuading an audience, use Jobs cadence. 5-second silence, concise sentence, poetic analogy. This product isn't just a phone, it's a Swiss Army knife in your pocket. In professional or sales situations, if you're pitching a project or convincing a colleague or client of an idea, start by finding common ground. Begin the conversation with a small story or a general question that touches on their interests. "I heard you love traveling to different places. Tell me, have you found time for your latest adventure?" This way, you break the barrier, then calmly transition to the main point without overwhelming them. When a client or colleague finds a sign of shared interest, their brain activates positive evaluation areas, and your offer is treated as a continuation of a productive conversation rather than just a sales attempt. This increases your chances of acceptance and cooperation without direct pressure. A real-life story. An American businessman used the Volcanic Compliment exercise with a stubborn client, and his sales increased by 70% because the client said, "I felt you saw my value, not my wallet." Which of these applications will you try first? Write me your plan. The 9th section, a warning about stumbling blocks on the path to charisma. Beware! Some charisma tips are like landmines. Mistake 1. Over-the-top gravitas turns into narcissism, like Elon Musk's controversial actions. Mistake 2. Forcing warmth generates fawning. As Dale Carnegie explains, sincere appreciation is not a commodity to be bought. Mistake 3. Exaggerated body language, like theatrical gestures, makes others feel you're hiding something. The solution? The golden rule from social intelligence. Be an observer, not an actor. Focus on your own feelings first, not their reactions. Remember Theresa May's failure in the Brexit debates. Her attempt to project gravitas with a rigid face made her seem insincere, whereas Jacinda Ardern succeeded because her genuine tears during the Christchurch incident blended gravitas with human warmth. Share with us, what's the biggest charismatic mistake you've made? The conclusion, how to create an indelible charismatic legacy. True charisma isn't a crown placed on your head. It's a tree that nourishes everyone around you. As Daniel Goleman wrote, when you radiate, others become mirrors to your light. Today, after we've together shattered the myth of innate talent and proven that attractiveness is built with daily bricks, I invite you to 3 things. 1. Subscribe to the channel now, because your journey towards influence doesn't stop here. We'll analyze charismatic personalities weekly and break down their exercises into applicable parts. 2. Share this video with someone you see as charismatically dormant. You might be the spark that transforms their life. 3. Write in the comments, what's the biggest charismatic mistake you've made? I'll respond to every share with personalized advice from today's books. And remember Vanessa Van Edwards' words with which we conclude. In a world that loves loud voices, be the silence everyone hears. Click the subscribe button now, because social genius deserves to be passed on.